Somebody said it's time to boycott Jay-Z because he's given Judas Iscariot and Benedict Arnold vibes. Don't believe me? I have the receipts. My name is Yasmin, and I'm a sociologist. This is my master's thesis comparing white-collar crime to blue-collar crime, and I like to examine things. Today, the evidence leads us to Hova, aka Sean Carter, who has betrayed his people, apparently, for what feels like 30 pieces of silver. Jay-Z has partnered with Target, and the story has more twists than a roller coaster. Unless you've been living under a boulder which has been trapped in a deep, dark crevice, you know that the melanated people of the United States of America have been boycotting Target since early 2025. I'm no spokesperson for all us Negroes. However, many of us grew tired of Target playing in our faces. We didn't appreciate a few things. One, Target ending its diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives and investments. Two, one of the initiatives included a program it established aimed at helping Black employees build meaningful careers, improving the experience of shoppers, and promoting Black-owned businesses. Black people who did not like this have collectively said, Target can kiss our Black. But now back to Sean Carter. Jay-Z, a billionaire reportedly worth more than $2.5 billion, has partnered with Target to sell his first album, Reasonable Doubt, in vinyl. Yes, you heard that correctly, vinyl. Surely Jay-Z is aware that Black people have been boycotting Target, but it appears he's willing to cross the picket line, and it got me to thinking, where have we seen this before? Back in the times of Jesus Christ, Judas Iscariot, one of the 12 apostles of Jesus, betrayed him to authorities for 30 pieces of silver, leading to Jesus's arrest and crucifixion. Benedict Arnold is known as the ultimate traitor in U.S. history. He was a general in the American Revolutionary War who helped win key victories, but then defected to the British Army in exchange for money and a military commission. In 1800, Gabriel Prosser organized one of the most ambitious slave rebellions in U.S. history. The plot was ultimately betrayed to authorities by two enslaved men, leading to the executions of Prosser and dozens of others. And then there was William Hannibal Thomas, a Black Union Army veteran and formerly respected figure who turned fiercely against his own community. He published The American Negro, a deeply racist text that echoed white supremacist tropes. He earned the title Black Judas. And finally, as I go down Betrayer Lane, in 1822, Denmark Vesey, a free Black man, organized an immense uprising in Charleston, South Carolina. But the plot was compromised when several enslaved men informed their masters out of fear and loyalty to the institution of slavery, resulting in Vesey's execution. A couple of weeks ago, I did a whole video explaining Jay-Z's contribution to the culture. And so I have to address this story, acknowledging the thing he just did that has many Black people legitimately questioning where his loyalty lies. Many of his fans are questioning where his loyalty lies. So here's the deal. To mark the 30th anniversary of Reasonable Doubt, the album he pressed himself, sold out of car trunks, and refused to compromise to get made, Jay-Z has partnered with Target for an exclusive vinyl edition. Not a standard issue, an exclusive. Available at Target stores and also Target.com. And in case you forgot, Target is the same corporation that in January 2025 abandoned its entire DEI framework, walked away from its $2.1 billion racial equity pledge to Black businesses made after the murder of George Floyd, and gave in quickly to Trump administration pressure. Black people have been boycotting Target since February 1st, 2025, and in my case, a little bit earlier, a movement that grew into one of the longest and most economically consequential Black consumer boycotts in 70 years, costing the retailer an estimated $20 billion in market value in its first 7 months alone. And Jay-Z just handed them a lifeline with his name, with Reasonable Doubt, the album that is literally his origin story. That is Benedict Arnold giving the British the map to West Point. That is calling yourself a billionaire who understands Black economic power in one breath, while simultaneously lending your brand to a corporation that Black America has collectively decided to hold accountable. There is a word for that kind of contradiction. It's called betrayal. But let's also talk very quickly about Reverend Jamal Bryant, who in March of 2026 stood up at the National Press Club in Washington, D.C. and declared the Target boycott over, claiming 3 of 4 demands had been met. The Black community, to its credit, largely rejected that announcement. Grassroots organizers from Minneapolis, where the boycott actually started outside of Target's own headquarters, held their own press conference the same day and said, "We speak for us. We will never sell out our community for crumbs or a seat at Target's corrupt table." Nakima Levy Armstrong, one of the original boycott organizers, said Bryant had, quote, "no authority to end," quote, something he didn't start. And the people agreed. But here's the thing worth remembering. Target's 4th demand, DEI restoration, the whole point, was never met. Bryant got a handshake and a press conference. The community kept the line. So after so many Black people rejected Bryant's attempt to call off the boycott, Target tried something else. They called Jay-Z. And Jay-Z, the man who taught us what it means to build your own table, to walk away from Cristal, to turn a boycott into $1 billion brand, said yes. What Bryant couldn't accomplish in a press conference, Target is hoping Jay-Z can accomplish through nostalgia. They are literally using Reasonable Doubt, an album about survival, hustle, and refusing to accept the terms that a system tried to hand you, to bring the Black dollar back through their doors. That is not irony, people. That is a slap in the face. But you know what? They didn't get the memo. The Black community is not going back to Target. Not for a vinyl, not for a limited edition collectible insert, not because a billionaire who does not need the money decided that this was a good look. And here's the thing about Jay-Z's legacy that makes this a little bit annoying more than it would from maybe someone else. He doesn't need the money or the exposure, and yet he did it anyway. You don't get to be the man who preached ownership, equity, and Black economic sovereignty in a song, in another song, in another song for 30 years, and then cash a check to bring Black people back to a store that betrayed them. That is not a business move. That is a mercenary one. And the culture sees it. All right, y'all, that was certainly one to grow on. Let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments. And also be sure to subscribe and follow for more. Peace. See you next time.